Hi, Casselberrians. It is now time to have a casual conversation for the beneficial good of our community. The show you are about to listen to is called What's Up, Casselberry? And now it is my absolute pleasure to introduce to you your hosts, Andy and Drew.
Oh, and don't forget that lovely producer, Robin.
Welcome back to the What's Up Casselberry podcast. Hope you are enjoying our new little opening ditty there. Thankful for Drew Acosta, a Casselberry resident, who kind of put that together. If you are new and newer to the show, welcome. My name is Drew Taylor, and I have with me my co-host, Andy Searles. Andy, welcome. Producer Robin is not on the call today, so it's just you and I.
I am pressing all the buttons, and I don't have too many to press, but I'm pretty sure I'm doing some of them wrong. So, Robin, we miss you.
We certainly do. Well, Robin, though, gave us some good intel, or gave me some good intel, rather. We have a podcast text message thread the three of us are a part of, and usually it's just conducting business and upcoming segments, but sometimes there's just some funny memes and pictures. And producer Robin shared this week the fact that we know, and we've shared on this program in the past, that she is a snake owner, and she found on social media, Andy, a picture of you handling this ginormous snake. It scared me, even just the picture. Tell us about that situation. What was going on there?
Well, I would love to tell a story that this snake was flying through the air to venomously bite someone, and I dived in the way to save their life, but that's not quite how it happened. I was out with Leadership Seminole at the Geneva Wildlife Preserve, and they have a great little exhibit there where they let you hold snakes. So this snake was harmless. There was no danger to me. It was still a little bit scary, though, but I held it. And actually, I hate to admit this to Robin, but it's true. I actually quite enjoyed it. As I was holding it, just feeling it move around my arms and my shoulders was actually quite therapeutic.
Whoa, man, that will make Robin very happy. Andy, you were mentioning this event was with Leadership Seminole. There's some exciting things happening from that organization, correct?
There is. And I was helping out with one of their class days. And I just love them because they're so full of information about the county and the cities and things like that. And so as they were talking throughout the day, Drew, I made a note of some facts. And I would like to quiz you on some of them. But before we start, just a little trivia about snake. There are 8,000 venomous snake bites in the U.S. Did you know that?
Whoa.
Of that 8,000, only 2% of them happen without being provoked by a human. Okay? So, I mean, really, snakes are pretty harmless. Robin, I hope you hear that and, take that for what it was. But of those 8,000 snake bites, 98% happen because the snake was provoked. Get this, 90% of the provocateurs were men. and 50% of men who provoked snakes to bite them had been drinking alcohol beforehand.
Wow, that is some interesting factoids. Men in particular, guys, dads, non-dads.
Don't get drunk and provoke snakes. It will not go well for you. Hey, but Drew, just a few other facts quickly I'll rattle off. Do you have any idea how fast squirrels move?
Faster than a mongoose, maybe? That was a deep cut office joke there. No, I don't know. How fast?
20 miles an hour. Which is pretty fast.
Wow, that is super fast.
Yeah. During this COVID year, Seminole County government has given out 573,480 gloves, which I thought was interesting. Over this last year, guess how many library books were withdrawn in Seminole County?
Guess how many the libraries weren't open a lot, so I guess very few. Couple thousand?
Oh, Drew.
Way off.
Way again. 2.3 million library transactions in Seminole County over the last year.
Really? With COVID too? Wow.
Yeah. Now, many of those are online, right? Because the library system is online, but that's pretty amazing. What else have I got? 325,075 acres have been fogged by mosquito control in Seminole County this last year. Guess how many people passed through Orlando International Airport last year?
Oh my goodness. I can't imagine. 10 million?
COVID year.
Yeah, COVID. I still say 10 million.
50 million.
50. Wow.
Anyway, I have got plenty more fun facts.
I feel like this could be a segment now. Yeah, don't waste them all. Keep the Seminole County facts of the episode. Speaking of segments, though, Andy, I mean, you know what's coming.
Here we go. I've been dreading it. This is the point when our listeners hit that little fast forward arrow on the podcast.
Well, we'll keep it moving. It is time for the dad joke of the week. Here we go. All right. I think this is a good one. Andy, I got hit in the head by a can of Coke today. Don't worry, Andy. I'm not hurt. It was a soft drink. There it is.
Drew, I have to tell you, I ran that joke by my kids beforehand as I was looking through our little script and talking points. You know what their response was?
What was it?
There wasn't one.
Yeah, it's kind of par for the course.
Yeah, your golf jokes. Your golf jokes are par for the course as well.
Well, there you have it, folks. Hey, let's get into a little bit of a serious topic, a really, really encouraging topic, Andy. You shared with me that for our Casselberry in the News segment, that there is, and I've driven by, I've seen it, there is now a self-swab testing kiosk here in Casselberry. It's located right near the basketball courts on Redbug Lake Park, on Redbug Lake Road. And the kiosk is set up to be available from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. 7 days a week. So any day of the week between 8 and 6, you can go up to this little kiosk, just go to Redbug Lake Park, and that you can do the self-swab. There's somebody there kind of overseeing the kiosk. And then the results of whether you test positive for COVID or not are available within 24 to 72 hours. And Andy, I believe you actually participated. You took a test, correct?
Well, I did. I was thinking, I was getting confused about sites. I actually took a self-test at the CVS on Tuscaloosa and Redbug, not at that one at Secret Lake Park.
Oh, that's not far though.
Yeah. And actually a self-test, I don't know if you've had any tests, but I think I've had 5 now. I really kind of get nervous because sometimes they just wiggle it around the base of your nostril, and other times it feels like they're poking your brain out. But with the self-test, I was just able to very cautiously and very carefully stick that little swab where it needed to be stuck. And man, I hope no one clips that as a soundbite. But anyway, I pulled it out and I got my results in 20 minutes. So yeah, it's amazing how quickly the testing has advanced over the past year, and it's kind of everywhere and lots of new formats. But I will say as well, Drew, just very quickly, I also got my first shot on Tuesday as well.
Oh, excellent. Your first COVID vaccine. How did that go?
I have to say I was very, very impressed. I went to a FEMA site at Valencia College and just walked through one of the most organized operations I have ever seen. Perhaps that's because the military was organizing it rather than the government, and they don't have the politics, but it was a great experience. So 1 shut down, 1 to go, and hopefully we can continue to get back to normal.
Yeah, fantastic. A couple of things that come to my mind as we wrap up this section. We've recently, listener, if you have not heard our episode where we had a conversation with the Seminole County Emergency Manager, Alan Harris, would highly recommend you go back and listen to our conversation with Alan Harris. He talked all about some of the advancements in getting COVID tests out and available to those in our community, and just the hard work and the organization that team has accomplished over the past year. And then I also was thinking of the most recent episode, the state of the city, when Superintendent Dr. Walt Griffin shared about the importance of kind of connecting those that are experts in this area, those who are the scientists, the researchers, those that are doing the laborious and important work of getting the data on how to vaccinate, how to protect ourselves, how to overcome this virus, and going with their suggestions. And so we're very, very thankful. We live in the state of Florida where people are getting tested, where tests are becoming more available, where people are getting vaccinated, vaccinations are becoming more available, and just really want to shout out all of our doctors, our first responders, our hospital teams, as well as men and women like Alan Harris from the Seminole County Emergency Management for their work in these efforts. Andy.
Yeah, I will say, Drew, when I was sitting in the kind of recovery bay, because they wanted to monitor us for about 30 minutes after the shot, I just sat there with a huge heart of gratitude. It was actually quite an emotional moment as I reflected on this past year, the difficulties, the hardships, the sacrifice, those who've given so much and those who've done so much to bring us to this point. And I just want to echo that. And that sentiment you shared expressed itself quite emotionally in me after I got that first shot.
Well said. Very good. Well, folks, we've got some great news in terms of sponsorship. We have some amazing local businesses and organizations that are all about what we're doing here on the What's Up Casselberry podcast. We are very proud over these 60 or so episodes to now have a number of folks that believe in what we're doing, what we're about, and sharing kind of what's going on in the city of Casselberry and our surrounding community. And we are excited to roll out a brand new sponsor on the next episode. So get excited. We are excited to have with us for our conversation today a returning guest. Kinsey Lallathin is the business development executive at All In Construction Services, and she is also the newly appointed president of the Casselberry Chamber of Commerce. Kinsey, welcome.
I'm glad to be here.
We like to follow protocol and things like that. I'm not sure how we should address you now that you have this new title. Is it Madam President?
Madam President.
Is that appropriate? Is that how we do it?
Sure. Or boss babe. I like that.
Boss babe. That's where I was going next.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's funny. Kinsey, we recently saw that you have just been on a brief, fun road trip, and enjoying traveling is obviously something that you like, but it's been a little bit difficult right now. Where do you plan to go on your next trip? Where's your next adventure to?
Actually, this weekend, I'm going to a wedding over near Clearwater, where I grew up on that coast. So I'm going to a high school friend's wedding. So that's my next little adventure. And I'll probably get on a boat at some point over there.
Kinsey, I was just in Clearwater yesterday. I went down for dinner with a friend. That is one of the most beautiful parts of Florida. I love it.
That's super interesting that you're actually headed, as of this recording, over to Clearwater, the West Coast, for a wedding. I'm officiating my cousin's wedding a little bit north of you this Saturday as well, over up in Crystal River. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a beautiful area too.
Hang on a sec. Now, Kinsey's friend isn't your cousin, Drew,
yeah,
right?
I don't think so. No.
Okay.
Different parts, about an hour separation, but
yeah, a little different.
The season of love, St. Patty's Day and love. There you go.
Yes.
Well, Kinsey, last time we had you on our program, you were sharing about your work and involvement with All In Construction. You've been a podcast sponsor of ours in the past, and listener, would encourage you to check out that episode with Kinsey. Kinsey, since we've spoken, there has just been a ton in regards to housing projects, local construction here in Seminole County, construction costs going up. Give us kind of an update on where things are at with both your business and just kind of house construction and projects as a whole.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I work with All In Construction, and we do home remodeling and renovations, additions. So everything in the home. We are a general contractor. So we do it all, and we're seeing it all right now. As you can imagine, our phone is ringing off the hook. I think a few kind of things are happening right now. Obviously, throughout COVID this past year, people spent a lot more time in their home, kind of looking at those things that maybe they needed addressed, and finally had maybe the time, or were just just being taunted by the outdated kitchen or bathrooms or, exterior projects. So we had an influx of business actually, and thankfully throughout the pandemic. But then also, if you think about real estate and the real estate market right now, the inventory historically is low. So that means that there's not a lot of properties for sale, but there's a lot of buyers, which the supply and demand kind of comes into play there. So what you're seeing is a lot of properties that are for sale are being sold without any updates or modifications. So these buyers are having to buy a property and then go in and change it, renovate the kitchens, the bathrooms, add additional square footage, whatever, add a new roof. So that real estate market is also affecting our business, but we're busy, we're happy, we're providing services to the local community in like this 4-county area.
Talking of COVID, I'm sure your business has had to adjust and innovate and change. How would you describe the change that's happened in all-in construction through COVID?
I think for everybody, at first, it was an eye-opener, and it kind of showcased everyone's vulnerabilities in their business and maybe things that they took for granted. We just came upon our 1-year anniversary of when we originally closed our offices. We never closed the business. We stayed, open throughout the pandemic, but obviously we were working from home for months at a time. And in the beginning, with me being in marketing and business development, it changed my role as far as I wasn't able to go have face-to-face lunches or pop into offices and network with people like I did before. I had to really get creative with technology. And then just our workflow, communicating. We get used to being in an office with our coworkers and small talk and keeping each other in the loop, where now we had to really make sure we were keeping records and communicating things virtually. So I think for our business, it helped us improve processes. It helped us diversify our services or think even outside the box as far as how we did things. So I think I see it as a positive for us. I'm very fortunate for that.
Yeah, I think that's something that has been a consistent theme when we've spoken with leaders in our community or local business owners, et cetera, is just the adaptability. It's sort of a either change or literally die. And that's been something that's been really unique and interesting, is to see and discover together how folks have made some of those adjustments. One adjustment that we have seen get made within the Casselberry Chamber of Commerce is just how we continue to communicate about the different things that are going on within the chamber. You have taken over as president. Would you share just a little bit about some of the exciting things happening within the chamber, and maybe even highlight the recent event y'all were a part of that I got to participate in, which was fun?
Yeah, I definitely say with the Casselberry Chamber of Commerce, our strength was always our business luncheon. It's monthly. It was in person. It was a great time to fellowship. It was a great time to hear guest speakers, see each other at least monthly if we weren't seeing each other more often. And it was definitely a challenge to have to take that virtual and keep the momentum, keep people interested, keep people connected. And I think we did very well with it. I missed the in-person, and I'm excited to announce we're going back to an in-person socially distanced experience in April at our April luncheon. So that's on the Casselberry Chamber website if you want to get the date and information on that. Glad we're moving in that direction, and we're seeing some changes and maybe something that will motivate us to re-engage some people that didn't join us virtually. But to highlight some good news is we did have our annual golf tournament, and we just had it March 5th. So if you think back to last year, if you're familiar with the Casselberry Chamber's golf tournament, we actually had it the week before the COVID shutdown last year. And so we were thankful we were able to have that before everything changed, and we were able to safely do that and do the fundraising that comes along with that. And so we were able to bring that back this year. And that is a partnership with the Maitland Chamber of Commerce. It's a friendly competition of golf and a friendly competition of fundraising for various local charities. And it was a great success. We just about sold out golfer registrations. We made a lot of money off raffle tickets, highlighted a lot of local businesses as whole sponsors. So I thought it went really well. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I know Casselberry Chamber alone raised over $4,000, and I think Maitland did probably around the same. So we're looking at $8,000 approximately raised for local charities. I'm very excited we were able to do that.
And the best news, the best news is that we raised money. But the second best news, Kinsey, is that the Casselberry golfers, we won. We beat Maitland.
Yes. So Casselberry maintained the title champion from last year. So based on all the scores and the teams that signed up, Casselberry had the lowest strokes, I guess you say. I don't know. I'm not a golfer, but I just play in golf tournaments. But so Casselberry won that. And so that was fun. You know, we had it at our home course. And so it's always fun to win there.
Back-to-back champions. I mean, honestly, that's the real story. I mean, it's nice that we can raise money to send kids to school and all that kind of stuff. But honestly, it's about that trophy and bringing home that trophy. So congratulations to everybody who was a part of that. Kinsey, you shared a little bit of some of the things that are happening this year. What else are you excited about as we start coming back in person in Chamber World this next year?
I'm just really excited. I think I had mentioned the last time I was on the show is just that I really want to showcase the chamber to the community. I want the community to see what this group of business owners and local residents and leaders do. And I really want to engage more people in what we're doing. And so as we're able to bring people together again, I'm hoping to, obviously always open the doors to guests and other community leaders and businesses and just really highlight all the things we do as far as we do ribbon cuttings. We do business like networking events. We have a women's networking group. We showcase new businesses that are coming in and highlight local businesses and support them in any way possible. So I'm just really excited to kind of just get the word out about everything that we're doing. I have a marketing background, so of course that's my natural tendency.
For sure. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. This is a unique season as the kind of things are coming back live for the chamber to really step out into the limelight, so to speak, or to be more visible in our community. I'm excited to help be a part of that. Well, Kinsey, as the new president, you are obviously leading this organization. You lead very much in your business endeavors as well with All In Construction. Andy and I, we're big leadership junkies on this podcast. We love learning and growing and developing our own leadership skills, as well as passing other tips and tricks along to those that are listeners. Any leadership tips, words of wisdom, anything that kind of really helped you as you've become a leader yourself?
One would be not to be afraid to speak up or share your ideas, because I think, especially when you're young or you're getting into maybe a new industry or new position, you tend to second guess yourself or think maybe you don't know as much as other people. But in reality, we're all making this up as we go in life. Everybody's making up what they're doing in life, and you're just doing it the best you can. And it doesn't hurt to share an idea or to bring up an idea. It may not be the best idea, or it may need more development, but if you don't bring it to the table, no one's ever going to hear those ideas. So I don't know if that's being a leader or just being, a strong individual, but as a leader, I just kind of do that. I bring up ideas, but I'm also not afraid to hear other people's ideas. And I'm also not afraid to say, oh, my idea wasn't the best, but you just kind of got to throw it out there. Next, I would say with leadership, learning how to delegate, I think, has been my challenge. I'm a type of person that I go. I take on a lot of things. I want to be involved in a lot of things, but knowing that other people might be better suited for a job or may have more time to do it, and I don't have time to do it, and knowing how and when to delegate is definitely a skill I think we all should learn. And as a leader, as you grow and you have more things on your plate, you have to be able to delegate or it's going to crash and burn. So that's something I'm constantly working on, but something that I've gotten better at.
Yeah, Kinsey, that's great. I can't speak for Drew, but I can certainly speak for myself. I'm still struggling at that too. And really one of the things I'm learning is that to delegate to another is really to give them a gift, right? And it's to give them a gift of what you shared straight away, to come to the table, to share their thoughts. And if we keep doing things ourselves, we actually prevent others from that opportunity. Well, you have been a fantastic guest. Once again, we're excited as you lead the chamber and so grateful in so many ways for all the chamber does in our community. A couple of weeks ago, we broadcast the state of the city, and we've got some incredible feedback about that. And we're kind of saying, oh, no, it's not us. It's the chamber. It's the chamber. And it's the chamber, because you guys are making a difference in all kinds of ways. So, Kinsey, as we always wrap up, I know that folks would love to get to know more about you, more about the chamber, more about All In Construction. How do they do that?
Well, All In Construction has a website, so you can check us out there at allinconstruction.com. That's allinconstruction.com. And then we also are on Facebook and Instagram. So that's the easy way to follow us. Just go ahead and follow us there. We do post a lot of before and after photos of our work. And so if you love that kind of DIY, well, it's not DIY, we're a GC, but if you love those home projects, you love to see before and after photos, definitely follow us on social media.
If you're looking for a way to invest your stimulus check, give Kinsey a call. I'm sure that she will help you spend that money.
Yeah, I'd love to hear from everybody.
Kinsey, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for all that you do for our community as well. We appreciate you.
Hey, Kinsey, that was fantastic. Thank you so much for your time. And we are looking forward to your leadership, not only in the Casselberry Chamber of Commerce, but in the community of Casselberry. Andy, as a fellow Casselberryan, as a fellow leader in this community, would you give us an inspirational moment to the listeners as we depart this week?
You bet. Well, we've had some inspirational stats and stories, some very uninspirational dad jokes, but let's end on a high note with a word from Albert Einstein, who said this: strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. What I like about this quote is the mind game that he's playing, because if we do add value to the world, if we can add value to another's life, then that actually becomes the definition of success. I think breaking down his quote a little bit more, he's probably saying success isn't in how well you're known. It's not in how much money you make. It's not in what you achieve or accomplish or the awards that come your way. The real sign of success is how you add value to this world and to each other. As I read this quote, I'm reminded, let's be about adding value to one another.
Thank you so much, Andy. And we hope between our conversation and our conversation with Kinsey today that you have found this podcast to be of value to you, listener. We sure hope you've enjoyed this episode of the What's Up Casselberry podcast, a casual conversation about our community. This podcast has been produced by Robin Kepi. For more information about who we are, please check out our website, whatsupcasselberry.com, our Facebook page, Instagram, our podcast feed, all with the name What's Up Casselberry. If you liked and enjoyed our time, please like and subscribe on our podcast. Please give us a 5-star rating. We hope you have a great week and hope to see you soon.